We've collected a lot of mobs here over the months, but the time has come for the vaulted chicken jockeys. And did you know how many of these guys there are? There's the regular one, the husk, the drowned, the zombie pigmen, and then there are the villager ones. There are 7 of those, I believe, but we're going to start with the non-villager ones. So, these are going to be challenging for a couple of reasons. First, they are a really rare mob. Second, they will separate anytime they are underwater, which is obviously not good. And third, mobs riding other mobs can't go through nether portals, which is really obnoxious because we are on an island. So we'll dig underground tunnels between here and everywhere we want to go. And also the zombie pigman ones will not be able to get back to this place until that glitch gets fixed. So the first order of business is to find where we're going to get them and make a tunnel there. Oh boy guys, do we have a spot. Look at this. So Savannah on one side, desert on the other. We can get 4 jockeys here. The Savannahville, the Desertville, the Husk, and the normal chicken jockey? I don't know. And maybe the drowned too. I don't know. We'll see. I've already made an underground tunnel here too, although I'm not seeing it right now. So I'll still have to do some thinking, but I know this is where the action will be. I've actually skipped pretty far ahead because I had a lot of bad ideas. So first I tried making a small mob farm in the sky and AFK'd, and that did not work. Then after some research, reading the wiki, they are more likely to spawn with chickens around. So they can actually spawn and Grand Theft Auto style steal a chicken essentially. So I've been filling this place with a ton of chickens and then flying around at night. And that has not worked either. So instead we're just going to suck it up and make an actually good mob farm. Alright guys, we have something going here. Check this out. So this is a full-fledged mob farm. And we're really putting our best foot forward to get the jockeys. So we have only 2 blocks high, that'll prevent endermen. We have carpet, that'll prevent spiders. And so then the mob cap will be filled with mobs that maximize our chance of getting it. And this is a full-fledged deal here. We're multi-story. And then we have lava on both sides so we can turn this thing off. And not only that, but we can also turn off just one side here. So let's say we get the husk jockey, but we're waiting to get the zombie jockey. We can actually turn off the desert side, and then this is actually 15 blocks exactly. So it'll work it out perfectly, such that we can control which one we want, and that will work great. The way that this thing will work is mobs will drop down, and then everyone dies of fall damage. Everyone except chicken jockeys, because they don't take fall damage. So all we need to do is AFK, and then they won't despawn because we're standing so close. Look at this! We finally got a bunch. Finally an idea that works. So we got to name them. Yeah, I'm not sure how many of these we actually want. Obviously we want the one without armor. Unfortunately, it looks like we didn't get any husks in this bunch. Alright, excuse me as I finagle this thing to drop him down the giant pipe. You know, I actually probably want to keep more of them, so I should fly near them to decrease the odds of them despawning on their way down. So we're fine from a sun standpoint because the mob system is over us. I'm just going to name them all just in case something happens to the one we want. Alright guys, another skip ahead from a bunch of failed ideas. So turns out husks need to be open to the sky, or only regular zombies will spawn. So I tried ripping the top off the old one, and that would theoretically work, but it wasn't spitting out mobs at a good enough rate, so AFKing wasn't giving me anything. Unfortunately, we will need to make an entirely new system just for husks, and all of the spawning pads will have to be open to the sky. And when it rains, it pours. Look at this. So it turns out these are not normal chickens. Turns out these chickens despawn. They also don't lay eggs, but more importantly, we lost all of our chicken jockeys, except for this one, that's new. So we'll be naming the chickens, so I guess we just have to kill these guys. And I'm not even sure I even got that, so hopefully he doesn't despawn. And just like that, not really, it took me quite a bit, but we have for ourselves a system that makes husks. Boom. Very similar to spawning pads, it's just horizontal. Let's check it out now. So yeah, I put carpet down first, and then it wasn't working as well because in the other system, they couldn't walk over the carpet. So then I put the glass blocks in, and so that way they're encouraged to jump into the water. The elephant in the room though is how do we get them to spawn during the day? which I can't figure that out. And frankly, I'm not sure it's possible. This system would have worked way better if I could figure it out. And I really tried. I tried a bunch of different blocks. So we are in a super flat world that is set to desert. And I set up spawn pads and have been trying random blocks over them. I thought for sure tinted glass would work, but they still only came out zombies. I thought trap doors might work. They'll spawn under them, but they don't block light. So even in the down position. Therefore, AFKing is just going to take longer, unfortunately. So the Husk AFK, it's taken forever, but in the meantime, we're going to get ready to bring them over. So this is where they're going to be going. I also put cages to the right and the left for more future mobs, but over here is where they will go. I put space for all of them, including the zombie pigmen. So we're going to do 2 of each, 1 on each side, because I do hate myself. Next, I want to point out where the tunnel comes out. And finally, what's up with the fences? So they won't be part of the final design. These are just here because you can use a lead on the chicken jockey and they no longer become aggro at anything. They will only hurt you if you walk into them. It's bizarre. I'll show you guys here soon though. Didn't know that before this video. But yeah, all the fences will give plenty of options to tie them off to. We're going to try to bring these guys over. If anything bad happens, these ones are pretty easy to replace. It's daytime, so they will burn up. Instead of making a cover or bringing them over at night, we're just going to hit them with a fire resistance potion. I think that'll be easiest. All right, here we go. Oh no, they're still burning. Oh, actually, it might just show the animation, but they aren't actually burning. This whole thing went pretty smooth. They took some damage from suffocation as they went underground. Like the chicken didn't fall fast enough. They suffocated the block above. It wasn't much, but I think I'll still widen it. Otherwise, it was uneventful. Forgot to change out of my elytra into better armor, and that didn't even matter at all. So after some AFKing, I did get 1 husk, but then I accidentally suffocated him. So all that to say that is a work in progress. But I did find this area. So this is a great place. It has a plains for the plains villager. It has a jungle for that one. And it has a river. So that'll be how we get the drowned chicken jockey. And this one will also be complicated. Before I found the plains biomes, I did try to make a drown out of a regular chicken jockey in creative to see if that was possible. Because obviously that would be way easier just to use our regular chicken jockeys. So making a zombie drown will turn them into a drowned. Can we do that without the water getting them to dismount? And the answer is no, not that I could figure out. So normally they just dismount, and that's that. But what if we use snow to get them to the perfect height that they transition but don't dismount? And that didn't work either. So how do we get them if they spawn in water and then they'll just immediately dismount? Well, they can actually spawn in bubble columns, no problem. So then can we convert a 1-2B to be a drown in a bubble column? And the answer is no, not that I could figure out. So basically, we're just going to build bubble columns, and that'll be that. Good news, bad news. So I got something that will work. Bad news is I could only get it to work if it was 1 block wide. So I'll spawn one quick. Yeah, so he goes up, and then he gets to the top, and then we'll just use a piston clock, and that will push him over. If I used water to push him over, that would mess the whole thing up. Wish I could get more spawning space, but at least it will be able to go at night, unlike the Husk one. Alright, here for the Husk update, we have a skeleton that has feather falling on his boots, apparently. Alright, this thing is in and about half done. I think I'm going to put another 2 columns in, and then that'll be good to go. And this is the bottom, where everyone else will die, but the chicken jockeys will fall harmlessly down. So I was reading the wiki and figured out when they jack a chicken to spawn on, they actually teleport to the chicken. This means that we can keep chickens on the outside of the thing. So this way, the way that it works is the chickens are 1 block high, and then when they get a rider, they will be just over 1 block, and then the tripwire will fire and drop them. So this just increases our odds. And I'm thinking about doing a similar thing with the husks. And then I just space these vertically out based on what the wiki said. But I do have to mention that we already have one now, and I named the chicken dinner bone just to make sure I was clicking the right thing. But we're already half there. I wasn't quite ready to AFK again, so here we are on top of the nether. And this one should be pretty easy. We're just basically making a gold farm, but we can't use magma like they normally do because that will melt the chickens. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Alright, we're not even done yet, and we already got one, so finally one that's pretty smooth. I knew this one would be easy, but man, there were no curveballs. I guess the curveball would have been building it with magma blocks, not realizing it, and then having to tear it out. But fortunately, I had the foresight not to do that. Things are looking up now because we have the drowns, and now I have a tunnel made, and that's everything. So we are on our way out of here. Made it back safe and sound. I'm going to rename these guys so they don't look like that in the display. And I think I'm going to name the other ones a better name too. Guys, we finally have the husks. I had done this once before, but accidentally suffocated them. This is fixed now, so hopefully we'll be done with the husks. And I can only name one of them, so we have to go down the pipe, probably with maximum stress, and hope that he doesn't despawn. We're here, and I'm trying to get these guys to pick up better items, and they won't do it. Look at this. So I think babies just can't pick up items. I think what they've grabbed is just a glitch. So they're all going to look a little bit dumb holding all of that stuff. Oh well, I guess we're waiting on Mojang to fix a couple of things for us. Kind of a funny moment moving these guys around. It must be daytime because this drowned has zero interest in killing me, and he only wants to get into the water. But anyway, moving these guys back into their new homes.